E for One, Entertainment for One podcast. Make sure you like this video, but it's very important that you subscribe. Thank you to all my new subscribers as well. I'm Anthony AP, and LL Cool J dropped this album, The Force. I have been talking about it for many, many years, and he finally dropped it. And overall, to give a real quick overview, I really like the album. I think it's cool. Do I think it's one of LL Cool J's best albums or his best album? No. But what I will say is that LL Cool J has took many, many risks on this album. Basically meaning that he's taking risks both subject-wise with a lot of the different things that he's talking about. He's going deep on a lot of these tracks. And he's really not giving us a whole lot of LL of what we're used to, which is the more, radio joints or the commercial, what you would say, tracks. Really no female tracks on this album too. I think I know LL has been predominantly known for at least coming out with 50% of the songs on his album with female worthy material. On this album, we only got Proclivities, which I thought was a really, really dope song, has been documented on my channel before. And that's really the only female joint he has on this album. He chooses and has chosen to go with more street-orientated material on subject matter such as Saturday Night Special that we all know. But he also talks about subjects of more about equality and racial profiling, and he goes deep. So this is not your traditional LL Cool J album, which is a good thing. And why I say that this is a good album, because once artists get to a certain stage of their career, they don't necessarily want to jump into territory that they're not familiar with. And LL Cool J has done that. He chose to go against the grain and try something new and different. And I think that's good. I think more older artists, from previous generations need to do that and just switch it up and not go with the regular format. And I think LL Cool J did a fairly decent job. If I'm rating this album out of, let's just say the Source magazine used to say 5 mics, a rating of 1 through 5, 5 being a classic, I thought this album was about a good 3.5 mic Source rating album. Now listen, one of the things that I will say about this LL Cool J album that I did like and some things that I didn't like. One of the major points that I did like, tracks 1 through 8, absolutely banging. Track 1 starts off with Spirit of Cyrus, which I thought was a very nice track laced by Q-Tip. LL Cool J gets into his bag where he's talking about consciousness, a lot of conscious awareness. The theme is pretty much, that will be the theme on this album, as I previously said. Then we go into track 2, the 4. We start to go into some of the material, most of the songs that LL has released over the last year, over the last couple months, like The Force, Saturday Night Special. We got Black Code, which I thought that song was very, very nice. I like that track, a very, very vibe-ish kind of a track produced by Q-Tip, a little bounce right there. I like that song, very nice song, very smooth song. I thought that was LL at his finest, that was LL feeling comfortable on that track produced by Q-Tip, getting into his zone. I like that joint. And then we got Passion, Proclivities, 2 tracks that's already been released that I really like, that I already had previously talked about. And then we have track 7, Postmodern. I thought that was okay. And track number 8, my favorite track on the album, 30 Decembers. I thought the beat was very, very dope. Q-Tip at his finest, doing his thing. A+, A1 production by Q-Tip on 30 Decembers. And LL really gets deep on this song. Top-notch lyricism and really making the point about how during the whole COVID and pandemic season, when everything was shut down and everybody was wearing masks and everybody was doing the whole 6 feet worth of distance thing, the song is about how he went back into the city. He hadn't been home to New York City in a while, so he went back to Queens, and the city was just different. The vibe was just different from what he remembered. Everybody was masked up, everybody was paranoid, and basically the city was just totally the opposite from what he remembered it. So he tried to go back home, and it just wasn't feeling like home. And then tracks 9 through 14 get a little bit weaker, in my opinion. I really necessarily wasn't really into the second half of the album, to be honest with you, like how I was the first 8 tracks, the first half or a little over the first half of the album with Run It Back. I really wasn't feeling that all like that. I thought it was just okay, not really a song I was vibing to. Huey and the Cheer featuring Busta. That song was more of a song where he was talking about consciousness on it with Busta. It was okay, but I really wasn't feeling it like that. I thought the verse by Busta was just okay. Basquiat Energy, definitely wasn't feeling that. I thought it was just It was Then we got Praise Him featuring Nas. The beat caught me off guard because when you think of LL Cool J and Nas rhyming on a track, I'm thinking, yo, this track is gonna be crazy. But it was just okay. It was, once again, it was a song where LL was talking about, a lot of consciousness talk, which is a good thing because LL has never had too many songs or a whole album where he's speaking consciousness material. And this is probably an album where 60 to 75% of this album is consciousness, which is good. I thought Nas's verse was pretty good, a good verse. I thought the beat was, even though it was a little unorthodox, I thought the drums in the beat, I thought it was cool. I thought Nas rode the beat very, very well. I thought LL Cool J did a good job on this beat. And then we had Q-Tip on the hook saying praise him. So it was an okay song. It wasn't that bad. I thought the song was okay. It just wasn't what I was expecting when you think of Nas and LL Cool J doing a collaborative song together. And then we got the Murdergram, Do featuring Eminem. I've already talked about that song on my channel. And to close it out, the crew cut called The Vow, and that has a whole bunch of features on it. And I thought that song was just, really, my selections were track 1 through 8. And then after that, I thought the album went into just okay kind of material. 3.5 mic album. If I'm doing it 1 to 10, I would say this album is about a 7. It's about a 6.5, 7. Definitely good to hear LL back as always, but it's good to definitely hear some freshness out of LL and him trying new and different things at this stage in his career. Leave me a message, drop me a comment, let me know what you think about this basically highly anticipated album by LL that we've been waiting for many, many years, many, many months. This is the Evil One Podcast. Until next time, peace.